What's up, SNA Assassinators? This is Super Ninja Austin back here with another video, and this is the NXT review on February 11, 2025. And first off, before I begin, I want to apologize real fast. Like AEW Dynamite didn't actually went on live tonight. I think they pre-recording it, and they're going to be airing it tomorrow on TBS or wherever you get your broadcast from, which is mostly Max. But anyways, yeah, we're gonna be only doing NXT review tonight. And let me tell you, this NXT episode was probably the greatest one I watched this year so far. But maybe I wouldn't say the greatest yet. Probably not until the end of 2025. Unless if nothing cannot match this NXT what I just watched. But yeah, we got some plenty of good matches, including the main event and a shocking twist in terms of a betrayal of the event at the end of the show. And we also got a tease of a faction, and we also got a match that's finally been announced for Vengeance Day. And we also got everything ready for Den and teases of a team splitting in their men's and women's championships, respectively, from these two best friends that they're probably going to be seeing at Stand and Deliver at WrestleMania as well. And we got a shocking debut, I should say, on NXT. And let me tell you, it was one of the guys that just got the contract expired over to the other company that we just talked about on the SNA podcast, one of the three, and much more. But we're going to get things started off with the first match of the night, which is the women's match between Bayley and Cora Jade match, which Cora Jade didn't waste no time attacking Bayley, but Bayley managed to get her right off. Got her out of the ring and hit her with a drop kick, with her version going right through the ropes, underneath the ropes and right inside rid of the ring post, to the face first, right to the table. That made Booker T start shouting like, "Keep it legal, honey, keep it legal." That's where then we got this where she managed to get her in the ring, try to go for a pin, but she got denied with a quick kick out at 2.4. This is where they started going striking each other until Cora Jade got in the right corner side. This is where then Booker T's like, say, "Why the hell is she back here 9 years later?" And then this is where then Big Joseph tried to come up with a good reason along with Corey Graves trying to be the voice of reasons, because she wants to keep the grind up anywhere in WWE and trying to make a difference for the women's division. Just sound like a particular women's wrestler over the other company. I believe it's Bayley's best friend, but I'm not sure if I should mention her by name. But this is where we got Cora Jade hit a back elbow, but she gets 2.3. This is where we got Bayley then for a headlock slam, but this is where Cora Jade then went out of the ring. This is where Bayley hit a suicide crossbody right onto Cora Jade. This is where then Bayley's like, "Yeah, I'm back in the game." This is where then Bayley tried to get her back in the ring, but she ends up getting hanged over right to the middle ropes in the outer skirt when Cora Jade was still in the corner. This is where we got Cora Jade start hitting nothing but kick strikes right on to his her opponent of the night. Is where then we got with Bayley. This is where we got Bayley then finally got back on her feet. Hit her with a Bayley cutter, trying to turn tables around. This is where Cora Jade amazingly got back up. Looked like she haven't even sold it, but she did. But she quickly got back up. But this is where she's trying to hit her right hand. But this is where then Bayley did get hit with the right hand, start swinging. This is where Booker T was getting excited because he loves wrestling chaos on NXT, just like your boy SNA and Simon, because I'm not sure who he is, but I know who me and Simon are. We're Shadow Hedgehog and Dr. Robotnik. And this is where the Cora Jade go for a pin, but this is where Bayley get the right shoulder up at 2.7. This is where, and we got Cora Jade or was it Bayley to belly? Yeah, Bayley hit a Bayley to belly with Cora Jade. There was a 2.7. This is where Bayley started hitting some clothesline, throw Cora right to the upper right corner side, sitting there with elbow strikes, pick her up. This is where she draped Cora Jade hanging on to the middle ropes. This is where then she hits her her best friend, I believe, that she won the women's tag team championships with, which Michael Cole mentioned her by her old name, but she had the double knees right on the Cora Jade's midsection, just like her. But it's where then we got when Bayley tried to go for a pin, Cora Jade immediately kicked out of it. Here's where she was like, "I should have been the one team with her, not you, $1 million Bayley." When she was being a jealous Jerry, but this is where Bayley's like, "No, I am." This is where it's trying to go for sunset flip, but Cora Jade just sat on her, trying to go for a pin, but she barely got 2.1. This is where they were trying to get back with her double knees were in the ground, but this is where she gets springboard double foot stomp right at the residential mean girl. But this is where we got Cora Jade and was trying to be like Bayley's best friend and try to go for a pin. But this is where when she got denied with a kick out, she started screaming like her, like, ah! I'm like, even if you did sound like her, like I think that she still does it better. But anyway, this is where then we got Cora Jade then try to go over a double underhook onto Bayley, but this is where Bayley countered out of it, then go for hit her with a flapjack face first, right into the turnbuckle. You know the rules of Professor Roosevelt worked the first time. It's guaranteed the second time on page 4003. But anyway, we got Bayley trying to go for a pin after that, but ends up getting denied a 2.5. Was it like a 2 point, like a generic quarterback would call, like on Madden? But you will not believe what happened when Bayley would try to go for the Macho Woman elbow drop because she still thinks she's macho because her man was in attendance of last night's Raw. But it's where it was Roxanne Perez came out of nowhere and distracted her, but she didn't do it like like an ordinary would do it. Originally would do. She did it like with the most classic maneuver that she could possibly can, which is dressing up exactly like Bayley used to have been like is her hugger character start playing her old themes, and there ain't no stopping this now. And this is where she had her hair in a ponytail like her. And this is where then she was dressed had her clothes just like her. This is where but. When once Bayley hit a crossbody on the Cora Jade, which nearly hit the avalanche maneuver, this is where then we got once she got denied at 2.2, this is where we got her then immediately attack, what's her name, Roxanne, continuing to mock her by prancing around saying, "Look at me, I'm Bayley. I hug everybody, including you dirty pervs." And this is where then Bayley then knocks her out, shuts her up, but she ends up getting double under DDT by Cora Jade down from behind, which wasn't guaranteed, even though it was outside. This is where she hits another one for good measure. Third time where it was the charm here, and then it was definitely was the charm because the helper got the 1, 2, 3. And not only that, like because we saw what's her name was in the back in Julia's locker room, the general manager of NXT, Ava, whispered something in her ear, which it must run deep in her family because last year her father did that to Cody Rhodes. But the only thing is, like, we finally figure out what exactly she told Julia is because she came out there like seconds later, and this is where then. That's what she told her, right? Like, yeah, like, what? Like, congratulations, Roxanne. Like, of doing something right in your career thus far. But everything's getting settled on this coming Saturday because now all three of you have a due chance to walk out of Vengeance Day as the new NXT Women's Champion. And that's where Roxanne was like, "Wait, what do you mean?" And that's where then Ava then told her what she meant by saying that when they're saying that triple threat is going to actually turn into a fatal 4-way. And that's where both Bayley and Roxanne was very stunned. That's where Roxanne then said something which we didn't understand at first until Cora Jade let her then told us like, well, she actually told Roxanne, but she let us know that that Roxanne said she's gonna be the new NXT Women's Champion, which we obviously know that she's not thinking about that in the inside. We're gonna be seeing what's gonna be happening, like it's stand and deliver between these two. But that's where then we got Bayley came in and got a little bit of payback by pushing Roxanne right on the core, which is making stirring up more of the pot double times than it was already automatically stirring up, like to be, I guess you could say. This is where then they both fell out of the ring. This is where Bayley's like, "Come here, you two little girls," but then we're laying flat on the ground. And this is where then we got them moving into Zarya taking on Zarya versus what's her name? Zarya and Saruka like chatting about something. But before I get into, but what are your thoughts on Cora Jade finally being added into the triple threat, turning into a fatal four-way match? Let me know down in the comment section right down below. But but it's where we got what's name was instigating Nikita Lyons. This is where Zarya was like, "We're sorry, we're not talking to you." This is where Nikita Lyons, I can help you. I'm like, I can beat you as much as y'all do, you know. And he's like, how about, like, you know what, like, as a matter of fact, why don't you put y'all's feet together and finally become a tag team and actually go after tag titles? Like, and this where, and then, and what is, right there. That's where, that's where the, that's where the, that's where the, Nikita Lyons, no, it was, no, this is where they're talking about something about the beach, but this where they hear we're barren, but this is where then they say we're not talking to you. This is where like you two at the beach, well, Chuck was there, not me at the beach, but this was so Ruka and Zara agreed that they're good. This is where the Nikita Lyons, how about y'all touch some grass, does it? And what that make y'all a tag team? Like goes on, like I think like I think Soul is holding you back, but it's where the Zara's like, I'm gonna stop right there because Soul is the most uh, uh, very athletic woman, and unlike you, we we got to win. Unlike you, that's when the kid was like, oh, that's Soul. How about you get in the ring with Nikita the Light? But before we even saw that, is where we got a segment happen between Obafemi and A-Town Down Under. And let me tell you, like, the friendship and partnership of Austin Theory and Grayson Waller is not quite like at its stablest, if I could say to the very least, because it's like they're in the deep end right now. They teased it. As a matter of fact, they got even a little physical, like, and teased that they're no longer going to be a tag team. But I think that straw that's going to break the camel's back is going to eventually happen when after what they called NXT, what they called NXT, Vengeance Day, I should say. Yeah, but yeah, I think that's what's gonna happen. We're gonna see. Getting a disagreement again, and that's what's gonna get the better of them. They're gonna lose, and that's what's gonna blame each other. But they're gonna probably have a match on the Raw after the pay per view, and then they're gonna be faced like a babyface team, like I don't know the War Raiders or LWO or anybody that's a face team. I'm trying to remember which is the Raw tag division is the complete opposite of SmackDown. They only got like a very few tag teams. But I'll say what we want to do, and this is where we can see them finally will snap and start going at it with one another, or even Grayson Waller turning heel on Austin Theory, and then they start the feud from there. But anyway, so a preview of LFG. Booker T talking to the young guys, including one young African American guy, like saying like maybe assuming that he could be the next Booker T, just like Trick Williams. But this is where we got. This is where we got Ridge Holland putting the arms, like just doing some them bends and some pulls. This is where we go. Open. That's where the Obafemi's like Obafemi will put his NXT championship on the line against Austin Theory Grayson Waller in a triple threat match. Like, but let's be completely real, right? It's gonna be a handicap match because it's gonna be Obafemi versus Gay Down Under because at this like it's not gonna give up. Like it's gonna get ganged up. Like and they're gonna try to do their best to get rid of the Lula. And it's like what they want. And then after that, right? I'll tell you what, like their egos like has becoming their greatest downfall. Like because they get messed up. Like if everything is said and done with like like yeah, there's only one man for himself when it comes to the championship, and that's where then This is where we got, before I can even continue, this is where we got the A-Town Down Under themselves came out there. And yeah, and this is where and Austin Theory was like, hey, like you guys gotta listen to this when everybody was booing them. This was just like, my boy had jumped off ladders, like he had his elbows through tables, like he nearly risked his career every time like he'd been in here. And it looked like that he was probably gonna be rooting for him to win the NXT championship with this high praising. Well, you would be wrong if you would guess that. But it was like yeah, like he's better, and then and that's where it's he's like, don't get me wrong, but we got. Like, don't get me wrong. Like you got Braun Breaker, Tony D'Angelo, and Tony D'Angelo, Braun Breaker, and Carmelo Hayes. Made this made NXT a better brand here. But everybody forget that my boy Waller is the biggest pillar of what NXT is today. And then this world there then continues there with that exact same help. He's gonna help me, like of all people, of becoming an NXT champion. And this where Grace Waller did not like that, but he was trying to hold it in. He didn't pretended that he was gonna help him. This where he's like, but he started trying to go back and him and say like he was like. And that's what it is like, yeah, like he, like before you even came in, he was on NXT and killing it. Yeah, you're fighting Austin Theory. He's like, he wanted to be a WWE superstar his whole life, and he did easy. And he was robbing to some little, like he said, swear word, he said, because they quickly muted. That's where he called him Johnny Gargano, that nickname, but he said little, like, something, blah, blah, Gargano, which I don't know what his name is, but. And that's where and that's what Grayson Waller's and that's why Austin's gonna help me become NXT champion. And that's where and Oba Femi tried to do some little reverse psychology. That's where it's like what you're telling me right now, both of y'all are gonna be NXT champion. But you realize there's only one belt, right? And trying to stir up the pot of their friendship. That's what Grayson Waller I'm gonna let you know that time means a lot for me. You know how sick I get, hearing Braun Breaker's name, hearing Carmelo Hayes in the game, and Trick Williams' name, that's because they had that championship. Despite they had accomplished that, but I did everything that a championship couldn't even take me. He was like, I'm gonna do whatever it takes, and that's why I'm gonna do whatever it takes. That's where Austin Theory was like, includes what? He's like, this was like, what do you mean? Like, I never been I never been NXT champion either, but I was the United States championship. And then before he gave us that, I was like, yeah, I know. You said this about 1,000 times. You beat John Cena 2 years ago, and I'm getting way too tired of hearing that. And I believe everybody else does not want to hear it either. But that's where they start sounding at first positively passive aggressive until they start being very harshly passive aggression. That's where they start naming their accomplishments and it kind of sounds like a little bit of an insult, but only just for them. But it's truthful facts. But they're trying to make it sound like a compliment. But anyway, then after them, what's his name? This where then Austin Theory's like, I became that you didn't become the United States champion, a single champion. This is where Grace was like, yeah, you're not wrong. But I remember at WrestleMania 40, while standing on top of that ladder and holding up those WWE tag team titles, you were in the bottom, cheer for me to get those belts like a little cheerleader. Like we all know, that's not really a compliment, especially in wrestling. But he just ended up making it sound like a compliment in a way, but. And that's where then Grayson Waller tried to, not Grayson Waller, Austin Theory tried to bark back at the other arrogant odds. And this was save? You think I really need to be saved, Grayson Waller? He's like, you come in this triple threat, I'll do whatever, and whatever it takes to become the NXT champion. And that's where Grayson Waller, okay, what are you gonna do, Austin? This where Austin, how about we start with this dummy and throw him right to this announce table right now? Anyway, Grayson Waller, how about we end with a chair and stack? And this one thing, let's throw all kinds of weapons on top of Oba Femi. And it's all dude, even if you managed to do all that, I think despite that, Oba would still break a flip all that stuff out. Cause like that whale that used to been in this company that's now to the other company that they're pre-taping for tomorrow's show. But that's what that's what Chris Paul is like our planet up. I got nothing our planet that happened in Atlanta, but there's nothing that can stop us from getting that championship. That's nobody. I mean nobody. That's where when he said he looked directly into Austin Theory's face by giving him the death stare. That's where Austin Theory's like, well, what do you mean by that? By looking at me in my face like that? It's where That's where Chris Paul pushes Austin Theory, but Austin Theory punches him right back. That's where he tried to hit a right hand or left hand on him, but he ends up hitting Obafemi right to the face. That's where Austin Theory start joining him. It's like, okay, let's put our differences aside for now and then take out the champ because that's going to help either of us win the championship. That's where they agreed on that. That's where we got Grayson Waller off the team. Hits their spinning discus forearm strike, hit the double team. And where we go, Austin Theory picks up Obafemi, which I think he's the only person that picked him up next to, or he's the second only person that can pick up Obafemi, like next to Tony D'Angelo. Like those are the only two guys that picked him up. Like if they're the modern day John Cena and Batista, but this where then we got Austin Theory went right back, hit the rolling stunner right into the ring, boom. But yeah, and that's where they hold up the championship like them. They were looking at each other by holding it, having taken turns up with Arthur grabbing out of his hands, and that means that's probably one reason why they're definitely not going to be winning the NXT championship. I'm about to say tag team championship. They're not going to be fighting Nathan Frazier and Axiom. They're going to be fighting Obafemi for his title. But yeah. And do you think that it's possible that that one of them's gonna win, or do you think that even with or without the statistic that Obafemi's regardless gonna win, just like your boy Super Ninja Austin? Let me know down in the comment section right down below. But anyways, that's where we got a vignette of Eddie Thorpe, like. And him getting tired of being disregarded, like by management in NXT, like whether it was Ava, Shawn Michaels, like it is what it is. Like and Trick, like you really think you're the one that's getting screwed over, like not compared to someone like me. And it's like now revenge is the only thing I want to seek right now, right? And like I can worry about that NXT title later. This is where they show him when he attacked Trick Williams. This is where. And he's like, but one way or another, like what do you say, Trick? Like, how about this Saturday or at NXT Vengeance Day? Like, it'll be you and me in a strap match, which that's very rare for a stipulated match to be on a show like NXT, like in WWE, of course. But this is where then it's where we move on to the next slide before we get into that. I want to ask you, Assassinator, before I give you my prediction, who is going to be winning between Trick Williams and what's his name? Eddie Thorpe in the strap match? Let me know down in the comment section right down below. But I think that it will be, I should be waiting. You know what? I'm going to wait. I was about to give my prediction away, but I would prefer I do it like when I'm doing a little prediction segment, but yeah, like it was confirmed like with Ava making it official, but this is where we got the next slide onto the next segment where they showed a little vignette when what's his name. When after what happened with Javon Evans, we got his jaw broke by Ethan Page when he hits him jaw first right into the chair. This where this he's like he got like some kind of some really bad jaw trauma, if I'm not mistaken, if that's what the doctor said. And it was like he is officially cleared to compete, but if any bad injury like that happens, it probably would risk him being disqualified to ever wrestle again. And this is where the Javon Evans is like, you heard that, right, Ava? This is where Ava's like, yeah, I heard it. But did you also hear what he said? If you risk to extend to be in this method, this is where Javon Evans like, yeah, but I'm not worried about that. Because I'm not going to allow Ethan Page to get even an inch closer to me of offense. This is where But that's where Ava was like, but I don't even no choice but to sign this. Like, when you stay that. It is where then Ava's like, it's a little waiver with the contract to make this match official. Like, you leave me no choice. Like, I need you to sign this. When Javon Everton would wonder what is the contract. He's like, if you compare with it's a waiver. Like, any liabilities get if you get hurt ever again, like it's gonna be all on you. Like, just think about it before you start signing the contract. It's where he thought of 1 second. It's where he's like, I already made my mind up. He didn't sign his name, closed the book, gave it back to Ava, and then it's official. It's gonna be Mr. Javon Evans taking on all legal Ethan Page. And when I say Mr., like if he's older than me, I'm not sure if he is, but well, I think he's around my age. But anyways, let me know down in the comment section right down below. Like who's gonna win? Hopefully, it will be the bouncy wrestler, which I'm gonna get into in just a moment. But this is where we got a triple threat number one contenders tag match, which it featured Tavion Heights and Tavion Heights, Miles Bourne of the No Credit Catch Crew, and we got Yoshiki in the Mura and Josh Briggs was in the match along with Hank and Tank. Winner gets to face Nathan Frazier and Axiom this Saturday at the what's it called? What's that pay per view? What that pay per view is over at what they call it, Vengeance Day. That's what it's called. I just named it. But where we got a winner, and I would say the women's match between Bailey and what's her name, Cortez, probably get the silver trophy. This match right here in particular was the bronze trophy, which started things off with Yoshiki in the Mura taking on Tank Ledger. This is where he started bringing the offense in. This is where we got almost an outside distraction from one of the No Quarter Catch Group, but it's when he ends up getting thrown right back out of the ring. This is where we got a running bulldog from Tank Ledger. This is where he grabbed. This is where no, it was Hank Walker. That's where he gets tagged in by Tavion Heights. Tavion Heights and tagged from behind. This is where he tried to go for a pinball. He got 2.4. That's where he picks him up right on the shoulders. Throws him right to his partner, Miles Bourne, which need him right to the midsection. That's where we got, what's his name? This is where we got Miles Bourne try to go for forearm strikes, then try to go for a poison rana, but this is where Hank Walker hits him right into the left side rope, hits the snake eye version, or what's that electric chair version of the snake eye, tagged in Tank Ledger, but he tried to go for a body slam, he gets into a sleeper. This is where we got, what's his name, this is where we got this in him. This is where we got Yoshiki in the Mura that started the punches and chops. This is where we got Josh Briggs in a big devastating boot onto what's his name? Tavion Heights, and then we got him in the bottom right court side. And this is where we got Tank Ledger on the other side, and some tackles and drop kicks onto him, showing some powerhouse abilities and some athleticism abilities. This is where somehow Tank Ledger got back in the match, hit the dodging, that cartwheel to both Inamura and Briggs when they try to go for a double clothesline. He hits a double it's where he hits a double crossbody, like if he's a mini version of Ivar of the War Raiders. It's where we got Miles Bourne to try to come in and try to take out what name take Ledger, but it's where he ends up booting what's his name Josh Briggs is where he hits a back crossbody onto onto Josh Briggs is where. That's where he tags in his partner Hank Walker. That's where Hank Walker hit a body slam on Tavion Heights. This is where it's about to hit a double team. But this is where then they get stopped by Miles Bourne and what's his name, Yoshiki and Amara. But this is where he gets thrown right to the upper right corner side. But this is where, and we also got Hank Walker through what's his name, Josh Briggs right to the bottom right side, diagonal from the other side. This is where they hit a double belly to belly tackle onto Miles Bourne. knocking him out of the match, so they have one less guy to worry about. This is where we got Hank Walker trying to run to the right side, but he ends up getting hit with a belly-to-belly suplex by Tavion Heights, which he was the legal man, just where he tried to go for a pin. But this is where we got Hank Walker immediately kick out at 2.5, was it? Like a generic quarterback would call. This is where we got Nathan Frazier and Axiom, the NXT Tag Team Champions themselves, were standing right to the top platform, right up on the highest level, right into the bottom right corner side. But this is where then we got the most powerful force in all professional wrestling came on, which was the commercial break. But as soon as they got done with the adverts, this is where we saw who was what's name Yoshiki Inamura was in the what's it called? It was in the what they call was in the on top on the offensive side. And I got, I mean, this guy is tough. Like, this guy is really good. Like I see why WWE partner with pro wrestling, Noah. Like with guys like this, that is very that's so charismatic, I guess you could say. But it's where then we got. But it's where Josh Briggs was about to finish off Tavion Heights. We got tagged in by Inamura. But it's where what's his name? Miles Bourne got tagged, sneak attack right onto wasn't Tavion Heights, but this is where it's an uppercut. This is where then he gets secretly tagged in by Hank and knocked what's his name out of the ring. What's his name? Miles Bourne. This is where we got Tavion Heights quickly tagged himself in the match before he fell completely out. This is where then he hits him with his big flying head, but right on the Hank, try to go for a pin, but this is where he ends up getting denied at 2.7, was it? But this is where we got Tavion Heights and Hank Walker start going at it with fists right into each other, going fist after fist after fist. This is where fans start cheering yay, and then yay to Hank Babu and Tavion Heights, because Tavion is technically still a heel, while Hank Walker's starting to be a fan favorite babyface. This is where we tell Tavion Heights a big punch, but this is where the one thing jump up in midair when he went to the left side. Hank Walker hit a big boot, and where we got Josh Briggs tags himself in the match. This is where Josh Briggs tried to go for a boot right onto Hank Walker, but he ducks and he ends up hitting the hit with a boot right onto Tavion Heights. But this is where we got what's his name? Hank Walker hit a pump boot right into his face. This is where we got Tavion Heights trying to go for a big boot, but he ends up getting hit with a clothesline by Josh Briggs. Josh Briggs tried to go for a chokeslam, which he just turned to a power bomb. This is where he tried to go for a pin. He would have probably gotten away with it if it wasn't for those meddling no quarter catch crew. But it's where then. But it's where we got a Hurricane Rana right by what's his name? Tank Ledger. Like, looked like he about to hit a suicide dive, but he ends up in that. But that's where we got, for the first time, if I'm not mistaken, seeing Hank Walker went up on the top rope and flew right up in the air and hit a crossbody onto everybody. That's where he threw Briggs back in the ring because he was the legal man. That's where he hits him with the wheelbarrow, like full Nelson backdrop of the move. That's where he tried to go for a pin, but it's where Josh Briggs get the right shoulder up at a near fall of 2.8. That's where then we got this is where then we got what's his name? That's where we got what's his name? Hank Walker. That was grabbing on his head. It was like, oh, what just happened here? This is where fans are saying this is awesome, like they did with the Bailey versus Cora match, which is why it's getting the Bronze Trophy of the night. Well, not the whole reason, but I'll say partially. Well, along with it being a genuine. Being a genuine entertaining match, because it looked like they're fighting for the championship rather than fighting for an opportunity for a championship match. But that's where we got Josh Briggs then trying to go for an avalanche maneuver, but that's where we got Hank Walker then countered into a countered him and tried to go for a move right off the top rope. But this is where he ends up getting pushed right off out of the way by Josh Briggs' teammate, what's the name of Yoshiki, count of. But it's where Josh Briggs then moved right out of the way with almost knocking what's his name over. What's his name? onto Hank Walker. This is where Josh Briggs hit a big devastating clothesline from hell, like if he's JBL. Like he made him did a 360 right into the air. This is where then we got Yoshiki in the mud, then went right up on the top rope, hits a flying big splash right into the. That's where he tried to go for a pin. He gets the 1-2-3. Winner of this match, Josh Briggs and Yoshiki. Yoshiki Inamura. Yoshiki Inamura and Josh Briggs get the win. They're going to be heading to Vengeance Day, and maybe, just maybe, we could be seeing new NXT Tag Team Champions. Could be in the future, but we're going to have to wait and see about that. Maybe, I'm not sure, but I'm going to talk about that in my prediction segment. But speaking of the tag team champs, this is where Nathan Frazier and Axiom went on the microphone. Like, congrats, y'all finally did it. Like, we could see all the hype.
I don't give a fuck.
We saw all the hype, and we saw all these. And that's what we're talking about. Like, that's what you had to take. Like, you to earn this opportunity to win, to get to be taken. That's where Axum's like, yeah, you did a very tremendous job. But this is where it's like, but Yoshiki, like. It was like, hey, I know your craft and I know your arts. Like, considering me watching you on Japan and Noah, this is where it was like, but despite all that, like, you cannot stand a chance against us because we beaten tag teams that are like double times talented as y'all are, and they can out wrestle anybody but us. So you cannot stand a chance. I'm like, I don't know, like they probably won for a good reason, but you never know. But who do you pick? Who are you guys are picks. Pick who or what y'all guys are going to be picking. I should be saying, like, is it going to be Team Fraxium or Briggs in Inamura? Let me know down in the comment section right down below. But I got to admit, this Inamura guy. Yeah, it really is talented and very impactfully impressive, I guess you could say. Even though I should use a better term, but it's kind of a lack of at this time. The best way to describe. He's very, I should say, impactfully great, if I'm not mistaken. If I can find any other better term to compliment him by, I sure hope he does win championship gold in this time in WWE. But let me know down in the comments if his first title in WWE is going to be the NXT Tag Team Champions. But anyway.
No, I'm gonna pay this nigga. I'll be there with him.
But that's where we got JDC then came out, or should I say Fandango, or Fandango, whatever we'll call him, taking on Lexus King for the NXT Heritage Cup Championship. This is where it's like, yeah, he's not gonna beat me for this championship. I'm like, you never know, because there has been teases that TNA wrestlers could win any championship from WWE and vice versa, where the WWE wrestler could win a belt from TNA, which that also includes into the TNA WWE deal. Like whenever the time is right, when we get they can give opportunities for the WWE wrestler for TNA gold or TNA wrestler for WWE gold, and it could be a 50-50 chance that they could just maybe win that specific championship. For many years of the partnership, that's possible, but I hate to be the Mr. Spoley the spoiler here, but let's say that it was not the TNA guy. But anyways, it was a really good match. Like the first ever match that had with Lexus King rules in it, like with it being like only win by one fall and no rounds, only just one match that's gonna be in this. Only just one match that's gonna. The only way that you're gonna be winning is by pinfall submission, just one time, not two times. But that's where Alexis King got him in a guillotine kind of hold, then slam him to the ground, try to go for a little gator roll, which he did, obviously, of course. This is where the Alexis King go for a wrist lock onto Mr. JDC. This is where the Fandango they go for a slam right back versus where we got Fandango to go for an arm drag slam, like after going for a wrist lock to try to go for arm drag lock, which Lexus King then somehow countered out of it. This is where we got Lexus King then started pushing him right to the bottom right corner side. This is where the referee's like, all right, that's enough. Like, let go or else 1, 2, 3. But he ends up getting knife-edge chopped by Fandango after he let go of him. This is where then he started continuing to hit some chops repeatedly with chops after chops after chops. But this is where we got Fandango then dipping right to the bottom left side to the bottom right. This is where Alexis King then go for a springboard flip into a sunset flip. This is where trying to go for a pin. This is where trying to go for a pinfall, but this is where Alexis King countered into a knee strike. And let me tell you something, yeah, there was some plenty of near falls on this match, which I'm gonna get into in just a sec. But yeah, if you ask me what I should give it, this was also really good. It was like I said, every match was totally tremendous. Like it was just match that had story, that had a pretty interesting angle, and I was like, wonder what's next, like whether it fits in the pay-per-views perspective or even the crossover with TNA and WWE's working relationship is going to be leading into. But anyway, this is where we got Fandango. Got caught Lexus King lacking right to the left side. This is where he hits a diving corkscrew right onto the second generation wrestler. This is where we got Fandango go for a knife-edge chop onto Lexus King, even though we got the partial powerful force was on, which was the commercial break. But once we got done with all the adverts, that's where we got Lexus King was in control with the arm lock right into the inside corners where he tried to throw Fandango, but he went face first right to the rope. He hit the elbow strike right into this back. This is where we got Lexus King like, okay, now there's one thing I need to get off my system, and this is where like I need to do the Fandango. Before I get a chance to do that, this is where we got Fandango hits a flying clothesline, which some of y'all probably say you should call him JDC, which I'm gonna start calling him that as well. But yeah, JDC. As soon as JDC did that, even though out of context, it sounds like initials for a very bad place where bad kids would go. But this is where we got. This is where we got what's his name? Fandango hit the European uppercut. This is where he did another one. This is where he got to go for a side Russian leg sweep. This is where Fandango then waiting for Lexus King to get right back up to go for what move he had in mind, which was a suplex. Well, turned to a Falcon Arrow, which we wouldn't try to go for a suplex attempt, but well, it's exactly a Falcon Arrow, like right, which Vic Joseph corrected himself when he saw it. But it's where the NXT next week will be in the horrible city in the United States, which Vic Joseph had to, of all people, had to mention it by name, which was Cincinnati. The only good thing about this that those guys at the other company are not going to bring their toxic, disgusting water, which. But it's where we got JDC, man, after hitting the suicide dive on the King. It's where he goes for a pin. And I was having second thoughts of him about Alexis King, who was going to retain, because Fandango hit his very famous leg drop right onto Alexis King, try to go for a pin, but it's where he ends up going for. But it's where what's his name, Alexis King, get the left shoulder up at the final second of 2.9 at 2.9999999 double triple nine minus 0.1 away from being through. This is where Alexis King started grabbing onto the referee, trying to distract Fandango, like so he won't do the what they call it, the leg drop, which you know the rules of professional wrestling, lightning does not strike twice. This is where it worked. He put him in a trap, like where he grabbed him to his head, and he draped him right into the middle of the ring. I mean, right onto the top ropes, like if he's his version of Randy Orton. Instead of doing a DDT like the fellow generational talent, this is where he hits his coordination neck breaker, his finishing maneuver, right off the ropes. Get the 1, 2, 3, and steal your Heritage Cup champion, Alexis King. And I'll say kudos to him. Bringing in a very well invested fight like into this contest, like which some of y'all probably say this was probably the match of the night, but I would have to give like the main event, like not because it's because of the main event, but it's because the match was just very was very good. Like it told a story like of what's going on between like what's his name, Sean Spears' faction, and what's his name, Tony D'Angelo's family, him and his family, I guess. But yeah, big congratulations to Alexis King for retaining his Heritage Cup championship and wishing many more years, even though he's from the worst city of the United States. Hope we don't take that offense. But that's where we got But that's where I got Bailey to start talking to Ava. Probably has something to do with the NXT Women's Championship match. But that's where Roxanne Perez was can you believe it? How could you make this triple threat match into a fail fight? Seriously? Like, it's only bad enough it was already a triple threat. That's where Ava was well, you should have thought of that before you started interfering, cosplaying as this woman right here. That's where that's where Roxanne plays. You know what? And that don't even matter. That's where it is. Like, I'm gonna be a three-time NXT Women's Champion. That's where the Bailey was well, good luck with that. Yeah, good luck with that because you're gonna need you ugly idiot. With the women's wrestler that's worth $1 million that's possibly dating that tight end from San Francisco. Like I said, that's where the Roxanne Perez who you call ugly? You purple hair wicked witch. That's where the Cora Jade was thinking she was talking about her, but then that's where the Roxanne Perez then reassured her that no, it's talking to Bailey. That's where the that's where the Cora Jade was but yeah, that's where Roxanne's but also I know that you're I'm glad. I just want to give you a congratulations that you're gonna be added to the match with me. This is where Corey Dave was yeah, exactly. It's like what you also said, out there in the ring, what you, and that's where the Corey James it's like you said, it's my turn. It's my NXT turn as NXT Women's Champion. You're not, but you're gonna be there to see it. And that's where we got Roxanne Perez is oh yeah, right, under my dead body. And this is where and this is when Cora Jade told her that she's gonna be the first one to see it when she becomes the first ever, becomes the women's NXT champion. I meant to say. And do you think that we're gonna be seeing some potential tensions between these two in during the match on the at the at the a at the at the NXT Vengeance Day event, between either it's gonna be the in the beginning, in the middle of the match, or even after the match, that we could see some kind of a split between these two of Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez. Let me know down in the comment section right down below. It's very intriguing, similar to how they did it with Austin Theory and Grayson Waller of A-Town Down Under, with them teasing that there's gonna be some tensions, with them letting this singles push get the better of them, to the point that they're gonna lose their chances of becoming NXT champion. And then this is where Obafemi will capitalize and take advantage of the moment and either pin one of them or both of them, and retain this championship, which I think I'm kind of simply predicting this right now, but I'm gonna explain more about it once I get done with this recap. But let's move on to the next slide. But I was trying to make it a comparison that's similar between the women's four-way match and the men's NXT the triple threat match. But let's move on and let's talk about what happened next. It was let's see. Well, I think it was another match, if I'm not mistaken. I'm trying to think, what was it again? I guess it wasn't the Tony versus Ridge Holland match yet. I'm get into that just a moment, but where was it? Trying to think what else happened next. trying to remember. It was. Oh, before I get into that, before it was a match, it was a segment with Kalani Jordan letting Fallon Henley, which she was with her Fatal Influence teammates. They came up. This was she was like when you retain that championship against Stephanie Vaquer, like I. I'm letting you know I'm going after you and recapture my NXT Women's North American Championship. It was like it's like oh really good luck with that because you're gonna this like this this is where then Jenna Parker like what that's what she was well, like before you start making claims, like Matt Ball, you start racking up wins, like before you can start claiming back championship that you once was, or something. And that's where the Kalani Jordan, like Jada, like I don't have no time for you. This where then Edward, oh no, what's her name? The Fatal Influence told Kalani Jordan, like, what? Like, you're just about to worry about Jada right now. That's what Jada's like, yeah, thank you. Somebody finally realized that. Like, you're worried about me like 24/7. That's what Jada Parker's like, one thing I'm worried about is that title that's in the left up, right onto the, right onto the, right onto the, Val. That's where Shante the Adonis was like, well, rewind, replay. Like last time I checked, like my girl Carmen beat you, Jada, and you, Kalani. Like, and I don't appreciate that you think that I'm gonna break her heart, like just because I was a player in the past. This where he was like so, but anyways, back, like so therefore whoever deserves a shot at the women's North American champion is Carmen. And that's where then the Fatal Influence. Y'all get discuss this and with y'all's little arguments and conflicts all you want, but we're gonna get out of here, which they did. So, who do you think who's next for a challenger? Do you think it's one of these three women that's been mentioned or appeared, like with 2 out of 3, with one guy that's in a on-screen relationship with the women's wrestler that's trying to get a shot at the women's North American Championship in particular? Please leave your comments down below. Which I think, or do you think it's somebody that's probably that's in the future? What am I talking about? That team's probably no longer going to be that trio on Monday Night Raw. But I mean, the Fatal Influence. Let me know down in the comments below. But this is where we got a match that some of us NXT nerds have been trying to watch in the women's division for a little while now, and it was probably Nikita Lyons taking on Zarya, two big powerhouse women that were in this match. That's where we got they start playing wrestling tennis back and forth, hitting fists running back and forth. That's where we got. That's where we got. What's his name? What's the name? Nikita Lyons and trying to go for a right hand, but hits a big pump boot right to the face. And yeah, good night to you, like my loyal assassinator as well. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. But that's where we got Zarya then and trying to go for a clothesline knocking her off her feet. This is where we got. But this is where we got. This is where we got Nikita Lyons then trying to go for.
Yeah, you ain't supposed to know.
But that's where then we got Nikita Lyons just trying to take a page out of Naomi's playbook. But luckily, Zarya then ended up countering out of it. This is where then we got her trying to go for a sunset flip onto the Lioness. But this is where it was easy said than done. This is where. trying to think what else happened.
You a crybaby ass wife trying to be black. Bitch, go back and turn over and be your ancestors written. Your ancestors probably bitch ass Donald Trump and his racist ass. Over here trying to be black white. Your ass probably got stoned like an ant when you came straight out of middle school. They probably was wondering what the fuck you was and had to seclude you from all the other motherfuckers because you was torn and figuring out what you were supposed to do.
What else happened? Like I'm trying to think, but there was two. I'll say two powerhouse women that were were beating powerhouse meat, which I hope I don't sound appropriate for saying that. But yeah, there was some kicks, there was some punches, slams. You get the rest. But I'm trying to think what else happened in particular.
This is the way you disrespect me, I'll crack your bitch's ass. I said the way you disrespect me, I'll plan on cracking your bitch's ass. She told me I can come against Tuesday, but I'm gonna come this Thursday. You hear what I said? I got this done. You hear me?
That's where what else happened now was a. That's where she arm dragged her in the corner. That's where Zarya hits a big devastating spear. That's where then she picks up Nikita Lyons. That's where she picks her up, trying to hit her firewoman's like F10 maneuver, just slam her right into the ground. Looks similar to another big powerhouse woman, but she's over at the other company. But Zarya did quickly got a pinfall out of her right after she just hit the maneuver on her to get the 1, 2, 3. And the winner of this match, Zarya. And that's where Saul could, like, along with the referee, raised her hands up and held high because she was the winner of this match. Which this match was probably less than 5 minutes. But this is where we got a little progressive, what they call, well, progressive commercial break. Well, or message break, like with a little vignette from another angle on NXT, which. But it's where we got the page like, yeah, yeah, I'm gonna finish you, Javon. Like, you were gonna risk it all, like just to get revenge on me. Like you got $1 million smile. Why would you want to waste, waste them by getting them all, getting each and every tooth broken out of your jaw? And you know, that's why you got a 10% brain. And this way, then he's like, this is where he's like, and this Saturday at what they call at NXT, what they call it, NXT Vengeance Day. I'm not just gonna break it. I'm gonna shatter it. Like it's gonna be time, worst after worst. Like you're looking for vengeance. Like after vengeance, like the only thing you're gonna be looking for is gonna be a new career. And he's like, because I'm gonna plan on ending yours. And then this word, then And this is where then this is where the vignette and ended. This is where we went right on the commercial break, which is kind of the most powerful force in all of professional wrestling, of course. But this is where we got a standing podium, like with that into the bottom right corner side, like with a little like what they call an arena interview, like right into this corner, like where Trick Williams sent the message to Eddie Thorpe. And that's where Trick Williams is like, yeah, you come around here, yeah, it's been official that I have a match against Eddie, and then like I have a few words to talk to him while in this interview. Like, oh, you were talking and complaining about like why you're not the NXT championship, and the management's is not giving you some fair opportunities like they do with anybody else here in the locker room. That's where Trick Williams is well, you're gonna get an opportunity of a lifetime. You and me are gonna have this trouble, and you're gonna go out there face to face with me, man to man. And then I'm gonna be whooping that ass because you are a trick. And this where then he walks right out of there, right after. Walked right out, in an interview. This where Sarah Schreiber's like, yeah, it will be indeed be a strap match for the. It's gonna be a strap match at Vengeance Day this Sunday, and this is where it starts showing all the matches that's going to be on the card. But this is where we saw the shocker of the night. You will not believe who made his debut on WWE NXT. And let's say he's from the other, he just came from the other company with his contract eventually was expired. Like, along with the other guys that's been cut. But let's say it was none other than the absolute himself, Ricky Starks, which he came right from the audience, from the back entrance. This is where the fans start cheering like, it's not. This is where Vic Joseph was shocked. He was like, it cannot be. And then this is where I was like Ricky Starks, I heard. We just talked about this on my podcast on the Wrestling News earlier. We were just talking about Ricky Starks. This contract expired, but we figured that he was going to eventually jump ship to WWE, but we did not expect him to do it this soon as he did. And this is where the Ricky Starks came out with the shades on, like if he's his own version of The Rock, which he been made fun of being like on the other company by guys that were originals there or just came from WWE and went there. But this is where fans are chanting Ricky Starks. This is where Ricky Starks like, everybody asks you who the hell I am. And this is where the fans are not, this is where everybody knew who he was because they watched him from the other company because he made a name for himself there, being a dollar store version of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson himself. But anyway, that's a different story for a different day, which you probably will even reference when he gets when The Rock have like a confrontation segment with this guy, whatever that may be, probably given about a year or two. But with The Rock saying it's like looking at a dollar store mirror, or something like that, which that would be a perfect line. But anyways, this is where we got Ricky Starks that came in and said, I'm gonna show you the definition of professional wrestling when he started off on this promo. We're gonna talk about the absolute superstar of the future, and then this is where fans start clapping for the absolute man. That's where Ricky starts and then if this is the hottest brand, well, you need the hottest free agent now, NXT or Ava, I should say. When he probably trying to assume that he's like her father, which we all know who Ava's father is. The guy that we just mentioned that everybody compared him as the dollar store version of. But this is where Rick, and he was like, "Don't let the expensive fragrance fool you." When he when the fans started continuing to chant his nickname, Absolute. This is where I am here to turn this place upside down. And then that's where fans start clapping for him because they want to see Ricky Starks no matter what company, what brand he's going to be on. This was and some of y'all probably asking, when the Revolution televised going to begin? Well, obviously, am I here? This is where fans would sort of say, yeah. And this is where Rick Stark did his pose like this, like he did at the other company. And this is where Vic Jones like, yeah, well, we all know who that guy is. Yeah. And that's where Vic Joseph then described this as the future is starting to get more brighter than ever. But that's where we saw the two former that's where we saw we saw backstage when the camera cut from this camera to the backstage one, with the two former New Japan Strong Women's Championship. Because funny thing is, around this time of the year, back last year, 2024, they were over in Japan fighting for that belt, which I wonder who's currently the champion. Well, maybe you should ask Stephanie that question. which I talked about on the podcast before, but that's a different video for a different day. Like when it's probably like wrestling news or whatever that may be. But anyways, that's where then we got them start talking about like they were teasing like a future showdown like between these two for the NXT Women's Championship. Maybe like if Stephanie Vaquera does beat the current Women's North American Champion, we can do a winner takes all NXT Women's Championship. Something that should be happening for the first time, like those two guys over at the other company did when they were the men's version of the NXT and the North American Champion. Which that was like almost 5 years ago. But anyway, this is where we got Stephanie Vaquera, and like a the women's champion, like just like you, Julia. That's where the Rich Holland then gave a bit of a little growl grunt onto the two women. Like I'm not sure if that was friendly or too friendly or ruthless rough behavior that was kind of inappropriate because how could you act like that with women? Like did your parents ever told you to be a gentleman, like especially when it comes to ladies? Well, even though I know they're like obviously you're not dating them, but still show some respect when they're trying to show respect right back or show some respect to you. But anyways, that's where we got the refrigerator rugby player, I guess you could call him. Was heading out to the ring. That's where we got Tony D'Angelo came out to the ring as well with the NXT Championship, or no, not the championship. Oh, but Femi's the NXT Championship. My bad. The NXT North American Championship, of course, in the steel cage match, which was the match we all been looking forward to, because I've been hyping this up since yesterday when I was trying to give a little bit of the advertisement of checking out my next video I'm gonna be making for tonight, which is a video I'm making right now. But let me know in the comments down below what was your reaction on the debut of Absolute Ricky Starks, and when do you think he's gonna make his debut match? Let me know down in the comment section right down below. And it's about time we see Ricky Starks making it back, making it way to Titan Tower Land, which is the Stanford-based wrestling company. But this is where they immediately replayed it and say like, this is the hottest brand. Like they need the hottest free agent in the company. Like, and this is where the are signing me in, which I think he did sign a contract, which we're probably going to be learning on tomorrow's wrestling news video, which will probably be on the little bit of a spoiler here. It's going to be probably on the Ringside News article, but they have everything. I think Ringside News that probably have the most news stories in any other wrestling news article I've encountered. But let's get into the. This is where we get the NXT Championship match. It's where we got. That's where the thing started with Tony D'Angelo hit the single underhook suplex right onto the Ridge Holland, but that did not work because they only got him a 2.1 count, if I'm not mistaken. But this is where we got Tony D'Angelo grabs onto Ridge the refrigerator. This is where he tried to go for a suplex, another suplex. But this is where we got Ridge Holland trying to counter him. This is where he gets punched right in the midsection. This is where he goes for a wrist lock, knee to right to the midsection. This is where he hits a European uppercut. This is where we got. This is where fans chanting for Tony D'Angelo. This is where we got Ridge the Fridge. Then trying to go right into Tony, but this is where Tony fights right back, hit the big right hands right to the face, throws him right to the upper right corner side, hits the running clothesline when he bounced right off of it. This is where he knocks him down to the bottom corner turnbuckle. This is where he goes for a belly-to-belly suplex, but this is where Ridge Holland are grabbing onto the back of the hair of Tony D'Angelo, start breaking him into the left side of his eye. This is where we got. This is where we got Ridge Holland kicks him right to the gut. But this is where he tries to go for a clothesline. But he ends up getting flipped right back first, right onto the cage. This is where the Ridge, the Fridge, and try to get himself right back up. This is where we got Tony D'Angelo going for what they call a suicide dive. But this is where he ends up getting hit back first, right onto the corner ropes. This is where That's where then the partial powerful force and all the professional wrestling came on, which was the commercial break. But once we got done with the partial adverts, that's where we got uh the the leader of the D'Angelo family then was still in control, like getting another belly to belly suplex, which it seems like for some reason the powerful forces must be a huge D'Angelo fan because like he because of Tony, because Tony D'Angelo starting to be much more of a recognizable star in the business, both in wrestling and in entertainment. Which he was on what they call Wild Card Show on the CW. But anyways, it's where he hit the second belly to belly suplex, which yeah, that's a double whammy, which he must have felt when the commercial break was on, like laying right in the middle of the ring. But that's where we got Tony Danza like, come on, get up, like what's his name? Get up, what's his name? Ridge. Like this where then he gets booted right to the face. It's where he picks him up and go for a body slam. But this is where Tony D'Angelo immediately get the left shoulder up at 2.2, if I'm mistaken. That's where then Rich Fridge was like, what does it take? That's where he started getting frustrated. This is where he started hitting some punches right into the face on the Tony D'Angelo. This is where Tony then went right back at him. This is where he picks up the Don of NXT. This is where Tony kicks him right in the gut. This is where he picks him up, hits, trying to go for a power bomb, which he buckled him to that move right back first onto the cage. This is where Tony D'Angelo went right back to the corner, hits a spear. This is where he tried to go for a pin. Referee count to one, referee count to two. But it's where Rich Holland get the right shoulder up right at 2.999999999 double triple nine minus 0.1 away from being three, which Corey Graves in a while like said the perfect terms in the world of professional wrestling, like by saying that was the closest that could ever be. But this is where we got Izzy Dame and trying to help Tony D'Angelo, even though it was in dirty fashion, even though there's a no DQ, well, on certain steel cage matches, which I'm assuming this was the no DQ, but this is what Chase Like Dwindle was like, well, we told him, that's why the Chase Like Dwindle, like, we don't need this. That's why he kind of sounded like a hypocrite right here, but him still throwing it to his corner anyways. But the thing is, this is where This is where we got Rich Holland grab onto the other end when Tony D'Angelo grab on one end. This is where then Rich Holland managed to hit him midsection and back first right onto to the crowbar that Tony D'Angelo uses as a weapon. And when it comes to no DQ stipulations, this is where Rich Holland hits him with a back clothesline, knocking him out with the crowbar. But this is where Rich Holland goes for the pin, but this is where the referee count to one, count to two. But Tony D'Angelo get the right shoulder up at the last second, 2.99999 double triple nine minus 0.1 away from being three of the ninedoms. This is where then Rich Holland's like, there's no freaking way. Like, how did he kick out of that? Like, I hit every single move that knocks somebody out with a crowbar. Like, this is where he tried to do it again right in the back. This is where he it's where dude once I do it again one more time, like you promise me never get right back. I'm like, dude, like even if you do knock him out for good, like it wouldn't be because he listened to you, but because you immediately demand him to be knocked out for good. But at the same time, like, do you think he's really gonna listen to you? Like, he's your arch rival. Nemesis do not listen to one another. Like, unless if they're forced to work together, like because of due to common other enemies that they have. But that's where we got. But that's where we got. Let's see. Oh yeah, I better hurry up. But anyways, this is where we got. Because it is getting a bit late. But it's where we got Ridge Holland and going right up, and that's where they're all trying to go whack him, but this is where he gets thumbed right into the eye by Tony D'Angelo. This is where he whacked him with the crowbar, hits him with the pop-up power bomb right into in the middle of the ground, going for the pin. 1, 2, 3. winner of this match, and still your NXT North American champion, and that is Tony D'Angelo. And this is where we got. This is where they all were heading to the ring. Channing Stacks, Lorenzo, Luca Cristofino, Izzy Dame, and Adriana Rizzo. But this is where Ridge Holland then ends up throwing Channing Stacks Lorenzo right onto what's his name, Luca Cristofino, before he can even get into the ring, inside a steel cage. But this is where then we got the girls, Izzy and Adriana was in the ring, trying to pick up their they pick up, I guess you could say, kayfabe brother, if that's the right term. But that's where we got Izzy Dame, of all people, pointed out that Sean Spears was heading into the ring with what's his name, Sean Spears with what's his name, Brooks Jensen and what's his name, and in their bodyguard, which I'm trying to remember his name, but I keep forgetting. But that's where the Adriana Rizzo was stay out stay out of the cage. We're trying to get out. This is where we got Adriana Rizzo was blocking it. So if you step close, I will attack. And this is where then Sean Spears I'm out here to try to be a threat. I'm trying to be a friend here. And this is where then Adriana Rizzo oh yeah, since when? But this is where we got Izzy Dame then pick up Tony D'Angelo and before they were even halfway to the door, the cage door, this is where Tony D'Angelo finally started walking on his own. But once Izzy Dame then left Tony D'Angelo alone with his back turned, and this is where I started having some very bad vibes about this. With what's her name, with Izzy Dame was right behind him with the crowbar still in her hand, and it kind of gave me Seth Rollins vibes, from 11 years ago when he attacked Roman Reigns back first with the steel chair. That's exactly what she did. She pulled a Rollins right onto Tony, hit him back first with the crowbar. I'm not sure exactly if it's a betrayal or what, but this is where she knocks him right down. This is where Tony D'Angelo was how could this? Where she did not care what he was saying. This is where she hits him whack back in his right leg. This is where or was it his left leg? I think it was his left leg. Started spinning around I think it's broken. This is where we got. This is where Adriana Rizzo was shot, if she just shot or stabbed him right in the back, with an actual gun or knife. This is where she's what the hell you just do? And then this is where did she grab her on her neck and start choke slamming. This is where the Sean Spears and his goons came in, and immediately then the look right directly at Izzy Dame is where she starts smiling and looking directly at Tony D'Angelo. She's he's all yours, boys. And this is where then we was she was really working with them the whole time. And that's where then they start attacking poor Tony D'Angelo right in the bottom right corner. Start stomping on him. That's where then they throw him right to Sean Spears' side. That's where they try to go for what's that called plunge. What they call a Green Bay plunge-like maneuver. But that's where the Channing Stacks Lorenzo try to come in to save his kayfabe brother. But that's where he gets whacked in the face with the chair before he was even halfway up in the steel cage. That's where they end up hitting the. That's where Luca Cristofino and Channing Stacks was banging on their knees. Were at the outside of the cage, start banging on it. So please don't do this, don't do this. But they end up doing it anyways. With Sean Spears hitting the fireman's plunge right onto Tony. That's where the heels stand up tall, right in front of the faces of the remaining members of the D'Angelo family. And that's what basically ended NXT, of course. Well, they start having things up with all the matches, what's on the card, which I'm gonna get into right now. Starting things off with I'll say the NXT Tag Team Championships. And as much as I would like to say there's going to be new tag team champions right now, it's just that Nathan Frazier and Axiom are red hot right now. And it looks like there's some teases of a certain tag team that are brothers. And no, I'm not talking about the Nemeth brothers over on TNA. but rather than the Hardy brothers, that could be like that was probably kind of teased before that we could see like between Nathan and X against Matt and Jeff Hardy, like for their tag team titles, like whoever, like and they're gonna probably do some kind of winner takes all match, and I think this is gonna be the reason why I think that Nathan Frazier and Axiom are gonna keep their belts, like, and I can. And I think that Josh Briggs and what's his name Yoshiki in the merge gonna be doing their best of trying to capture the championship, and they're gonna do everything they can. And I think they will be those tag team titles one day, like down the line. But it's probably just not gonna be the Saturday. Unfortunately, I hate to break it to those guys, but yeah, I'm gonna say I'm gonna give the dub to Fraxium right here. And my final prediction: Nathan Frazier and Axiom will retain the tag team, and there's not gonna be no teasers this time because WWE made it all clear that they're definitely in a multi-year deal that's gonna probably last for maybe little less of a decade from now. But this is where they're gonna make it clear, like it's day when we get to see the if Matt and Jeff Hardy are still the TNA Tag Team Champions. Let me know in the comments down below, Assassinators. But I think they're gonna make their big shocking returns, go face to face with the current NXT Tag Team Champions, and this is where they'll confirm things that they want to challenge them for their tag titles for theirs. It's in a double strap tag team ladder match, I guess you could say. That will be right up into both teams' alley, including the Hardy Boys or Team Extreme, I should say. If I'm trying to say their nicknames, and I'll say for the next up, we got the Javon Evans taking on Ethan Page match, which it's basically a redemption, like which that's what the name of this pay per view is. It's about vengeance, I guess you could say, and I can see that Javon Evans definitely gonna get his. Like as soon as he gets in the ring and let him fight, and just bring the fight to the All Ego wrestler. This is where we got Ethan Page then whacked. And this is where he can whack Javon Evans right into the jaw, trying to break it, but amazingly, like Javon Evans' jaw is not even cracked like from the punch. Like it's like if it's made out of steel. And this is where then Ethan Page will be shocked and he'll keep targeting that, but yet like it won't be good. It won't be no luck like for him trying to take out his jaw. This is where we can see Ethan Page even trying to use the same method that he did like back like a couple months ago, only for him to be like. Only for him to be denied by Javon Evans is where shocked Javon Evans. I mean, this is where Javon Evans will shock Ethan Page. I mean, say I apologize, pardon me. This is where hit the bounty cutter, get the 1, 2, 3, finally get some revenge onto Ethan Page. I'll say maybe in the process onto this match, maybe we could see like whatever he's got planned Javon Evans on, like whether it's attacking his jaw or any other body part, it'll backfire. And as a matter of fact, this is where probably the karma would hit in, and then like just snap one of Ethan Page's bones. That's like wherever it is, like whether it's in kayfabe, I was like whether it's his legs, arms, or even his jaw, whatever body part it may be, it will be a perfect distraction for Javon Evans to hit the bounty cutter, get the 1, 2, 3, and he'll become the winner. So my final prediction: Javon Evans will get some redemption and win this one-on-one contest. Next up, we got the NXT Women's North American Championship match between Stephanie McCurry and what's her name Fallon Henley. And I think like this is gonna be a very tremendous match. Like maybe this will shockingly be like the third or the fourth place match of the night, despite it being like a big card, like with so many matches, like from the women's and the men's, like from which is up to like maybe like 6 or 7 matches. I would be amazed if this was probably even like at third place. But but yeah, this is gonna probably be like a very decently entertaining contest between like these two women. Like that would look like they could fight any day and bring an entertainment into into NXT's women's division, like that nostalgia, that credibility of entertainment. Like they're gonna bring it into you. Like even if it's just a normal wrestling match, they're gonna do exactly that and entertain us assassinators and WWE Universe fans like all alike. Well, not exactly all alike because we all are different we all are different in our own way. But it's where you can see Stephanie Vaquer will be so close, only for probably being interference by JC Jane and Jasmine Nix, which Fallon Henley will probably be shocked and she will be like I don't need you guys, y'all guys' help, but they end up helping her anyways. But Fallon Henley will still take advantage of that because she is the heel. Well, at least maybe at the moment. This is where we can see her hit that faceplant maneuver that she normally do to her opponents to retain her women's championship. And my final prediction: Fallon Henry will retain and win the match by win by pinfall with the help of her fatal influence female teammates like into this women's North American Championship match. And please expect and also expect some tease of tension between these two guys. Yeah. Happy early birthday. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. But yeah, and expect that there's gonna be some Fallon Henley and JC James probably gonna be arguing, but Jasmine trying to continue to be the voice of reasonings and the peacemaker. Like but that's where they'll end up trying to agree they finally agree on something, and that is to celebrate the win of Fallon, like at least for now. And and that's where they're gonna move on from that until like into the following NXT. And like next up we're gonna talk about the NXT Women's Championship, if I'm not mistaken, or no. Oh no, Trick Williams. It's gonna be Trick Williams against Eddie Thorpe in the strap match. Next up is that. The next up is Trick Williams taking on Eddie Thorpe in a strap match. Is where And yeah, this match is all about with Eddie Thorpe trying to get justice and revenge, which that's the whole point of this pay per view. Which some of the angles are all about like wrestlers trying to get some type of redemption. Like I said about Javon Evans, like trying to get some justice on against Ethan Page for breaking his jaw. But yeah, Trick Williams trying to get some revenge onto him because he cost him a shot at winning back his NXT championship. And it's gonna be a really good strap match with Eddie Thorpe looking like he's gonna be winning. Like he'll do every kind of type of heel tactics of trying to do so, but only for Trick Williams to fight right back. And maybe at first it looks like he's gonna win, but only for getting denied by Eddie Thorpe. This is where Eddie Thorpe will probably try to call him in a trap, like with the strap. Like and yeah, and that rhymes, so that's absolutely true. But this is where then Eddie Thorpe probably will get wrapped himself, which that's double true by Trick Williams. So that because it also rhymes as well, even though that was a very easy basic rhyming right there. But this is where then we get Trick Williams will put him in this like will tie him up like into like and get him in control in his own control, I should say. Here's where Trick Williams use this as a benefit like of an opportunity to hit the trick shot, which he will do so by wrapping his arms around, so he will use them as his advantage. Trick shot him right into the face while we're pulling him on the strap. 1, 2, 3, and this winner of this match, Trick Williams. And my final prediction goes for the leader of the whoop that era of NXT, I guess you could say. And next up, we got the NXT Women's Fatal 4-Way match, and it's gonna probably be all about like who's gonna walk out as NXT Women's Champion. It's every woman for herself, and it can be any woman in this matter. And we're gonna probably see some betrayals, like regardless if we're gonna be seeing a new NXT Women's Championship or not from these two friends. And y'all obviously know who I'm referring to, which yeah. And it looks like that possibly could take care of both Julia and Bayley, with them one of them trying to go for the pin on one of them, and they trying to pull a Cody Rhodes and Ted DiBiase Jr. maneuver, like when They were trying to fight over who should pin Randy Orton in that triple threat match, in that very popular match at WrestleMania 26. But that's where then we can see what's his name? But this is where you can see Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade start pushing each other right back and forth, saying like, "No, this is my opportunity. Like I've been waiting." This is where Roxanne Perez, like I've been waiting for 2 whole months to get, or one whole month. Let me rephrase that, to win back my title. But this is where then what's her name? Cora Jade will correct her, say, but I've been waiting for almost 4 years. Like while you've been waiting for about over 4 weeks, I've been waiting for almost 4 years in order to get my opportunity to get this moment of becoming NXT Women's Champion. This is where we start pushing each other right back and forth. This is where the but this is where this is where you can see Bailey come in, hits her with a rose plant or something like that. And that's where we could, or Bailey to belly or something like that, something similar to what happened tonight. This is like the follow up into the story. That's where Cora J could hit her with a double under DDT like she did tonight, but she will not get the W because this is where we can see the pretty hot mess herself and current reigning defending NXT Women's Champion Julia, and hits her with the what that maneuver was of the what their maneuver's called, but it's that sideways foot maneuver, hits her right, and then she goes for the pin, gets the 1, 2, 3, and still your NXT women's champion. And my final prediction, my final prediction, what's her name? Julia retains her NXT Women's Championship, and and leave and leave 3 women still down into the canvas, like like being in disappointment, I guess you could say. But yeah, but yeah, this, but yeah, you're yeah, my yeah, like it goes to her. She retains. It probably goes on the road to stand and deliver as your NXT Women's Women's Champion. And that's where we can see Roxanne Perez start blaming both Bailey and Cora Jade, but mostly going after Cora Jade. Like, and this is where she started complaining at her, started yelling at her, and this is where she even slapped Cora Jade right across her face. With the fans start doing woo, ooh, like in the audience. This is where then Cora Jade went right back and just attacks her, start beating the hell out. Finally, like let out this frustration, like that she's been holding in for the past, like probably few months, with Roxanne Perez continuing to what they call to disclude her, I guess you could say, like for the past couple of months, like she's been doing ever since Cora Jade's been back. But yeah, this is where we can see Cora J will let that out and just beat the dog sugar honey iced tea out of her. This is where the fans are chanting like Cora, Cora, or thank you, Cora, in the live Washington D.C. crowd. And this is where then Cora J will like finally have a moment of her getting over, and this will lead up into a stand and deliver match. While we can see Roxanne could be in a be in a feud with what's her name with Bailey, I guess you could say, yeah. Like at WrestleMania, just like hours. What if it's either night one or maybe even night two? So she wants to do a double duties in the same night, and they'll just wait until the what's that the wait until like the Sunday afterwards, the day afterwards, I guess you could say. But let me know down in the comment section right down below about that. Because I just think that's my theory. Like we can see like Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez are finally gonna split, and then we're also gonna have that match of stand and deliver while Roxanne Perez and Bailey will have a main roster showdown at the grandest stage of them all, and the showcase of the Immortals, also known as well, and that is WrestleMania. But let me know about my theory in the comments, and do you agree with this prediction? Which some of y'all probably say it's kind of obvious, which I see what y'all mean, like if y'all said that, but at the same time, it's like what if you're not really thinking about that, you're probably gonna be shocked, like saying like Like I would never thought this would have happened. Like I would never thought of that. Like if that would be the outcome if Julia does retain the NXT Women's Championship. And maybe this is where she could lead up into a match against Stephanie Vaquer, which would do a dream match with these two women like fighting for the NXT Women's Championship. That'll lead up into that. But next up, we're going to be moving on to another feud, like, and that is Grayson Waller and Austin Theory, and Obafemi, like in a triple threat match, which Obafemi is right on one thing. It's more likely a handicap match rather than a triple threat match because they're going to be teaming up together, trying to take down the Nigerian ruler, and trying to become the biggest prize of the black and yellow and silver brand. This is where they'll be pulling the Ted DiBiase, like also like Cora Jade, in the same like Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade, like they're going to be falling out with one another, like with them trying to attempt to get a shot at the champion. Once one try to go for a pin on Obafemi, this is where they'll pull them off of Oba, and this is where they start arguing like what the hell you do, and then they'll do vice versa as well, like with them saying, I'm trying to win my NXT championship, and this is where they start being passive and aggressive again, like with them like start insulting each other, like to the point that give enough time for the Nigerian ruler to finally I got that they're fine. They come, and this is where they look like they're about to have some tensions going. But this is where Obafemi grabs both of these two former tag team champions, bring them back in the ring, and fight them like if there's two of him. And this is where start hitting this comeback maneuver, hits the. It probably is like back to back. What's that called? A pop up powerbomb finishing maneuvers that he does for the win. Like first, he probably do the Grayson Waller, then Austin Theory right on top of him, go for the pin. 1, 2, 3, and still your NXT champion Obafemi. And and yeah, they're not gonna probably do much about their intentions until like the following Raw, like 2 days after that. But right when like Obafemi's continuing to celebrate is where we get the former NXT champion Trick Williams come out to let him know there's unfinished business and he took care of the Eddie problem. So he's still gonna come after him. That's where Obafemi's like even if you do get an opportunity for this belt, like I'm gonna warn you, like it's not gonna be as you're not gonna be as lucky as you came out losing the last time, which that could be true, like which I'll say like for bad intentions and maybe for the best because considering that Trick Williams is looking like a main roster star already, so I guess that'll be a send off of his run in NXT, like in order to get him called up into the main roster, which that'll probably be in the 2025 WWE draft, which that's probably going to be in the end of April. But we're going to talk about that in a different separate video like from now, which that'll probably be in the next 3 months or yeah, which is going to be in April. Yeah, but that's going to be in the next 3 months. We're going to be 3 months, 2 months. Why am I talking about? I'm sorry. Correction, 2 months. Because it's not going to be in May. It's going to be in April, the end of April. But still, or maybe I'll say the draft probably is going to be in 3 months because it's going to be in May, like probably in the beginning or the middle of the month. But let me know in the comments what's going to be happening in the next, probably in the next couple of months from now in that time. But yeah, like I guess that'll be it for now. Assassinators on my predictions, like as well on top of the review, and I totally forgot to tell you what happened with the debuts with Ricky Starks and a couple of matches that's been announced between Javon Evans and Ethan Page, and also Trick Williams against Eddie Thorpe in the strap match, and the debut in Ricky Starks, and with Izzy Dame shockingly like revealing that she's been actually working for Sean Spears and his goons, like and tricking the D'Angelo family, trying to take him out for good. I do think it's going to lead up into like an NXT, like some kind of an 8-person mixed tag match, something similar to like the Schism and Chase U did like back a couple of years ago. Let me know about that as well in the comment section right down below, which I think that's going to be leading into that. And I totally forgot to tell you that's leading up to Stand and Deliver. They're not building things up only for Vengeance Day, but their next pay-per-view, which that's going to be in April, like just just right before WrestleMania 41. And overall, I'll give this NXT, which was probably the greatest one I've watched in 2025 so far. So I'm giving it the 5 stars, of its best. Like they were at its best their best bookings as they ever been before. I'm gonna give humongous kudos to the head writer himself, the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, for doing such a super stupendous job of tonight's NXT. And I hope that he's cooking up some more intriguing plans for NXT in its future, and also have something already planned for the absolute Ricky Starks now that he's officially a WWE superstar. An absolute superstar that Ricky would probably refer himself to, which that's something I'm going to throw in, adding into this subject with the debut of Ricky. But who do you think who's his first opponent's gonna be? Like now that he's officially an NXT star, let me know down in the comment section right there. But I think Shawn Michaels have some big major plans for him, along with others that's on the developmental brand. I mean, the developmental brand. But we're gonna end today's wrestling news video right here. How would you rate NXT tonight? And please give a comment on that. And I hope y'all enjoyed the video. And if so, please make sure to hit the big thumbs up button. Consider hit the subscribe and the post notification bell for more SNA content. And yeah, I agree with that. On the beginning of next season of the 2025 season of August, I think the Chiefs are definitely going to be winning their first game. Even though I'm kind of disappointed, that they had to take the big L, which I don't want to talk about that though. But we're going to talk about what's going to be in the season of 2025, which I feel it's going to be bright like as ever before. But anyways, please make sure to hit the big thumbs up button, hit the subscribe on this channel and the post notification bell for more SNA content. And please make sure to check out my wrestling news video where I'm going to be talking about the wildest and intriguing wrestling news stories and rumors that you assassinated need to know on the what they call the ringside news article. Actually, that's what it's called. Not you don't have no wrestling on the name, but it is a wrestling news article though. But it's called Ringside News. But anyways, please make. And also, what else I was about to say? It's gonna be the birthday edition, because I'm gonna take the day off on my birthday. But I'm gonna do. It's gonna be my little birthday celebration edition of the SNA podcast of the wrestling news. So make sure to stay tuned for that. And also, and yeah, big congratulations for Ricky, for his big debut in WWE on NXT on February 11th in particular. And also, please make sure to check out my birthday edition of the AEW Dynamite review, which that's going to be the perfect thing to talk about by getting ready for my big day of turning just another year older, which I'm not sure if I should mention it right here on this video, even though y'all probably know kind of my age, because I mentioned it about a few times before on the podcast, which I'm gonna reveal it. We're gonna lead into what we're gonna be talking about on AEW Dynamite, which is gonna be MJF taking on Dustin Rhodes, which is the brother of the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes. But it's Dustin. He's gonna be taking on the former AEW World Champion MJF in a very brutal battle. And we're going to be seeing a trio championship with my boys, them Undisputed Kingdom boys, that are going to be taking on them disgusting, the toxic water drinking Death Riders. That's probably going to be taking a sip of it, and they're going to put the rest in their briefcase, which they also have the AEW World Championships that's inside that briefcase, which I understand what's the reason why that's the case. But yes, sir, ma'am, I will be making my prediction segment right onto that video as well after I get done with the show. and I will see you guys tomorrow on the next video. I hope you assassinators have a wonderful, safe night, and I'll see you guys on the next video with some more SNA content. Until we meet again, Super Ninja Austin out of here. Bye-bye, my assassinators. Y'all take care and have a blessed, safe, and super awesome night and a good night to you as well. Bye-bye.